Welcome to Baat Pachisi. On Baat Pachisi, we try to discuss various points about the politics, about people, about economy, and so many other events around the world, and to discuss the upcoming U.S. election and the debate between Kamala Harris and Trump. We have with us a very well known friend and a scholar from USA. He has been there for a long time, so he understands and keeps a track on so many things of politics, especially the debate between Republicans and Democrats. So, welcome, sir. Welcome, Ram Kumarji. Thanks for joining us for this important discussion. So kindly go ahead and give us your perspective of how was this first debate on 10th September, and will there be any next, and who scored as per, because media report says the Kamala Harris, won hands down. So what is your perspective, sir? Welcome to Baat Pachisi, Mr. Ramnath.
Thank you, Madhav Singh ji. It's a good, I hope it's a nice morning in Jaipur. You said it's been raining, so hopefully it stops now. But anyway, coming to the debate, it is absolutely uh, the consensus of everyone here who saw the debate, including Republicans, that Kamala Harris won the debate. Uh, Whether it will translate into winning the election is completely a different issue, obviously. But she did definitely, especially her winning the debate has partly to do with how badly Biden did in his debate with Trump. He lost so badly. Lost meaning he seemed lost, not that the debate was lost. He seemed lost. He didn't know, seemed to understand what was going on stage. So it was such a disaster. And so after that fiasco, um, anybody else besides Biden would have seemed like a smart, intelligent person, which is what happened partly. But Kamala Harris, so the debate was with Trump. Trump is never a good debater. He's just dominant. He just to the point of being abusive and contemptuous. But he wasn't like that in the against Biden because he didn't have to. Trump just kept quiet, very unusual for him. He didn't have to be his normal, dominant self because Biden was so bad. He just had to. That Trump had to just keep quiet, and Biden to look like a fool. So he was leading probably immediately in the aftermath of the debate. Trump was probably 10, I don't know, maybe even 15 points above uh, above Biden in the national polls. But then this debate with Kamala Harris completely changed it for the simple reason that Kamala Harris, even though she's not popular, he's not even well known, even while she was vice president, one hardly heard about her. But on the other side, but the other side is she didn't she didn't seem to be very much of a disliked figure, even though she was not liked. She was basically a neutral. People were neutral towards her. But then in the debate, one thing is she has been a senator and a prosecutor, and she is very smart. That much is for sure. I don't know which university to went to. One of the big ones, I don't know whether she went to Harvard, Yale, something like that. She was a lawyer and a senator, and she had taken part in some, Senate hearings and all that. So, because she had been a public prosecutor, also, her she is very good at debates. From having been a public prosecutor, she knows what to say, how to say it, and put people on the defensive, and take the discussion the way in the direction she wants rather than what Trump wanted to talk about. And at every stage, and Trump was no match for her. Uh, Number one, intelligence. Number two, expertise in law and generally in carrying on a debate. So Trump is not good at those things. He's just good at being, being kind of a dominant and offensive and putting people in a corner. So he cannot debate real substantial points. So, which is exactly what she was good at. So, with the fact that she came across, and then yes, of course, she said some things which were not true, but then Trump said a lot more things. But Trump always does that. He lies, he just throws out numbers in a confident manner. So, even though he knows they're lies, she did too, some of them. She did say some things, but then she had a much better way of saying it. So it wasn't so offensive to people who are not committed. See, if you look at the polls uh, um, before the debate, Trump had a lead. I'm talking after Biden. Biden was gone. Then she was. Trump was leading by about like 49 to 43 in national average. Now, so he had a 6 point lead against Kamala Harris. But then around 7% of the people nationally were undecided. But then, no, maybe it's sorry, it's probably 10%. I don't remember the exact numbers. But then, after a couple of months, after she went uh, campaign and all that, now, especially after the debate, she's leading by 5 points, like 49 to 44, something like that. So Trump has lost nearly 10 points. He conceded the lead he had lost. And then the most important thing to note in this election, I think, is the 10% undecided at one point. Nearly 7 or 8% has gone to Kamala Harris. Trump's numbers have stayed the same, and almost the entire undecided people have gone in favor of Kamala for the simple reason, not because they love her, but because she seems to be competent, and she knows what she's saying. So they think that she will be a competent president. They may not like her policies. I don't think many people do. In fact, if you look at issues, Trump still leads. If you ask people by subject, economy, people say Trump was better. If you think about border issues, Trump was better. But then if you're saying competence and who will make a better president, they all say she will make a better president. And then on some other things. And Trump is also making it worse, even today, right now as we speak. Every day, he still has his um, public rallies where his strength is he wants those people shouting there and everybody waving flags and stuff. That's what he likes. He doesn't like one-on-one discussions or debates because he's not good at it. He doesn't know, frankly, he doesn't know anything about anything. He's a fool. But so he likes those, but almost every other rally he has, he does something which further hurts him. He calls her names. He calls the Democrats names. He uses like not parliamentary language. He does things like that. So that the 10% undecided more and more will gravitate towards Kamala Harris as long as Trump does that. And she has not done. Many people say, she lied about this. The way she laughs is like a witch and all that. Yeah, those things are fine. Those things are small things. But then she has not made any major gaffes or being caught saying something outrageous. Yes, and as far as flip flops, she was at a lot of stuff. Like even now or yesterday, she said, "I'm for guns and I have a gun at home. If somebody comes to the door, opens my door without my permission, comes in, I'll shoot him." That is totally against the anti-gun stance of the Democrats and especially her. But then, like all politicians do, now she's saying what people want to hear. Of course, if she gets elected, she will go back to anti-gun thing. But she now wants to appeal to the gun owners and the NRA and all that. That I'm also, gun ownership is good, which is not everybody knows nonsense, but she says it. So does Trump. Now, Trump was, for instance, a couple of issues on abortion. He was the one who appointed judges to the Supreme Court majority. Now I think it's 6-3 in favor of conservatives in the Supreme Court. They reversed, Roe versus Wade. The what was considered a settled issue, that abortion is legal nationally for 50 years. Just like in somebody like in India, reservations, if the Supreme Court tomorrow, there should be no more reservation. That's just, it's a settled issue. Nobody would even imagine such things possible. That was what women were thinking and men were thinking. Even the Republican Party never tried to reverse the abortion thing. Now he managed to appoint judges who, I think, 2 years ago, the Supreme Court actually reversed that Joe Roe versus Wade. Then they didn't say abortion is illegal. They said we will take it out of the Supreme Court. No, each state can decide on its own, which itself is a big victory. So, but now he's talking. He said several things. I don't know, in vitro fertilization and all that. He is spoken in favor of government should, insurance companies should pay for some things which anti-abortion nuts, like the Christians would are totally opposed. Now he's trying to say, I don't mind that, I'm also for it. So both of them are flip-flopping. But then with this, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you say
Yes,
something?
Mr. Ramkumar, thanks for giving your, yeah, yeah. I mean, varied perspective from the personality of both the candidates. Being a lawyer and a prosecutor, she has way with the word and the law, and uh, it's difficult for Trump to match up to her debating skill that you have pointed out very rightly. And that has made maybe the difference that all the fence sitters have uh, joined Kamala Harris for
Yes.
what I mean, the floating voter count. So, and what is, uh, but I could see one or two analysis on American media,
Hmm.
forgetting the channel, and that says that Kamala Harris has won hands down. And if there is no another debate, which you can tell better, but there going to be another debate where Trump will be much more prepared than he was on 10th September. So will it, make a difference to this presidential debate and the scenario?
Firstly, Trump has said no, absolutely not. There will not be another debate because he knows he didn't do well at all. He lost badly. But then, knowing Trump, he might change his mind tomorrow. But if he does, my feeling is there's no question of being well prepared. It's not that he wasn't prepared for the question. It is not in his nature to focus on anything or being able, not only if you can only prepare someone who is capable of understanding it and conveying it effectively on stage.
Right, right,
He can never do that. He absolutely, that's not with him. If you go to any debate or any he never discusses thing. He just say, like it'll be a shouting contest kind of thing. Maybe they won't actually shout. It is just that one-upmanship. That is all he will do. That is his only strength. So he will not, my gut feeling is he will not change his mind, because I think everybody, almost to a man, everybody, all his entire team says that he never you can train him all you want, you can teach him, but he will still go out and do what he wants. So knowing that, again, if he goes, he'll be a fool to go again against her, because I don't think, like, if you take the debate content as such, there was no substantive issue that they argued about and she came out ahead. She talked about some issues, he didn't talk about any issues. He just used his usual self, and so I mean, he didn't even try because he's not capable of it. So going to a second debate will once again end up the same way. I think he will be shown up as incompetent, incapable of debate. It's supposed to be a debate, right? He's not a debater. So, and she is an excellent debater. So, if and as now with the with the wind in her favor, also behind her back, she'll be very confident. She will actually, Trump will regret it if he goes for another debate. I think the chances of it going for another debate are zero. And um, so like with the margin so narrow, I don't know how familiar you are with the electoral map, with the electoral college. Are you familiar with the electoral college?
Last time we discussed, but
Yeah. Okay.
definitely I don't remember. You can, give a summary, brief summary of how it happens. That will give.
Okay. I'll just if we can if I don't know if it's possible to share a screen. I don't know how to do this. Let me try. So
Okay.
share screen. Okay, I'll just try to share a screen. If it doesn't work, I'll come back. That will
Hmm.
give you. Uh, okay. Are you able to see the screen?
No, no, not yet.
Were you able to see the screen? No.
No, 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 not
Okay.
right. I mean, you can explain the salient points, main points. So and not able to see the screen.
Okay. The
Uh,
okay. See, it's right. So and everybody votes on election day on November 4th. Sorry, let me come back here. Okay, 1 minute. Do you see it now? Okay. Um, all right, I give. Okay. Have I lost?
you are visible, sir.
Okay, sorry. Sorry. Okay. Uh,
Never.
Forget that. It's not working. I don't know how to do. Okay. If you look at see everybody votes on November 4th. I'll just give you like give you a 2 minute thing of how it happens and why that again might be very crucial with the election because this is a very close election. 50
Yeah,
states, everybody votes. Everybody who's got a vote votes on that one day. Like I told you last time, people are under the impression, many Indians and maybe perhaps some Americans also, including some of our friends, our JNU
mm,
friends, uh, that people, people don't vote to elect the president. It is the each state, some state assembly or something elects the president, like our Rajya Sabha, our president is elected. It's people don't vote. It's the assemblies and the parliament. Everybody votes. MPs and MLAs vote to elect our president, right? So it is not like that here. I vote on election day. Okay, so like me, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Oh yes, yes, I can. I can. I can
Okay.
hear you. Go ahead,
So
sir.
everybody votes on election day on the 50 states. So I'm in Washington. Okay. So what happens is I vote on election day, and so does everybody in Washington state where I am. It's one of the 50 states. And each state, based on the vote on election day for Harris or Trump, uh, the state sends the electors. Say each state, the number of electors is the number of U.S. lower U.S. House of Representatives. Let's say that is 13 number. That is based purely on population, like our Lok Sabha members, Lok Sabha. So each state, depending on the population, has a certain number of votes. Um, Plus, then therefore, okay, let me just backtrack. So the bigger the state, more the electoral college electors each state sends. And if you take the US map, all along the western east coast, we are on the west coast on top, Washington, California, the more advanced, the more educated states are all blue, meaning Democrat. And on the East Coast, there is New York and Illinois and all the entire East Coast, all except Florida, all the way to Virginia and all that. So that is where the Democrats support are. These are the big states. California has some 60 electoral votes. Uh, and Texas is a red state, Republican state. So that has 45. The way it works is in Washington, if 51% of the people vote Democrat and 49 vote Republican, the entire 40, let us say 40 electoral votes is had. The winner take all system, all 40 from Washington, the votes go for the Democrats. The fact that they got 49% becomes useless. In the same way, if you take each state, the the coastal states where the population, most of the population is more populated than the central part of America, where Republican support is main support is there. So the electoral college will always favor those. Um, let's see, last time, just backtrack, Trump won 303 to 236, something like that. And Biden also won by the same margin, 303 to 270 is what you need to win. Trump won by winning 303 to 232 to Clinton, Hillary. And Biden also did the same. He won 303. But then in both cases, even when Trump won and Biden won, the Democrats got Biden and Hillary got more votes. Nationally, if you just take the number of votes, they got more votes. 51 to 52% was vote won by Hillary. Still, she lost the election because of this electoral college system, which is difficult to it's a little difficult to understand unless you read it, take the time to read it. So that is the way it works. And then um, um, the Republicans are now, even now, trying to change the system where they want to say in California, if we win 40% of the vote, we should get 40% of the electors when the president is selected. Now we get zero. So they don't want this electoral college system, but they want a proportional representation kind of thing in the electoral college. Now, anyway, so the reason I went over that is now because of that, the margin, the electoral the popular vote nationally, it's almost guaranteed that Kamala Harris will win more votes. Trump has to maneuver in such a way that he wins as many of these smaller states, less populated states as he can, so that he can get the electoral votes because it's winner take all. So he gets all of them. That is the only way he can win. That's how he won against Hillary Clinton also. And you remember I'm sure you remember the George Bush versus what is his name, Vice President Al Gore, elected 2000. Al Gore also won, besides the court case and all that. So now, anyway, the point I'm trying to the Kamala Harris is definitely going to win more votes, and as things stand now, she will win because she doesn't have to do much. She doesn't. She just has to avoid pissing off any section of the people big time. Whereas Trump continues to do that almost every day. And even now, one more thing he does is right now, they always have this within the Republican Party. They always have a budget crisis. They don't approve funding. All funding has to be approved by Congress before government can spend. 3 or 4 times since I've been here, the parties, in the Congress, they struggle, so the budget will not be passed. So all government funding will stop on this day. But and then nobody, all police stations will close. They always come to the last minute, and they always come to the point of the brinkmanship, with the under the threat of default of securities and all that. They do that, and then last minute trying to do that also. And you're in the Republican Party saying, if you do that now and there is a shutdown of government or even the threat of it, that will piss in election time. You don't do that. Don't do that. He's still trying to do that. And also, I'm sure you saw that interest rates were lowered by the Fed 2 days ago by 50 basis points, which is a huge decrease. Never, I was with the Federal Reserve. I've never seen a 50-point decrease. Always they do it in 25 basis points, 0.25, 0.25. So they did a big thing. Of course, the allegation is that they want to favor the Democrats because they want to improve the economy. Of course, they're going to say that, but the Fed is a lot more independent than our Reserve Bank. Our Reserve Bank is basically a government department, but the Federal Reserve is not. But that doesn't mean that they're not subject to some influence. So, but the economy still, I think the businesses and all that, still a lot of them would prefer Trump. But then, because he's such a unpredictable person, people are getting, even the Republicans are getting pissed off at his, public, saying things which he shouldn't have. He doesn't even have to. So anyway, so I'll let you speak now. I spoke for too long, I think.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for giving such a wide perspective, right from the various position, the electoral process, and all that. But now come to a very very important point relevant to India. And then, what is your feeling that who will
Yeah.
be positive towards India or Southeast Asia for variety of regions, including China? The Trump is he have been speaking out his mind about China and all those things, and he has also threatened to,
Can you repeat that, please?
I mean, how it will connect, who wins, how it will affect their U.S. relations with India, and as the Trump has been trying to contain China for a long time, and he has been very open and ascetic about with his comments. So how it will pan it out for India from both perspectives.
The general,
If
yeah.
means, yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Yes, please. You could
Okay.
hear me. What
The
is the?
general,
Yes, yes, please.
the yes, the general wisdom is Trump is better on better for America or as far as China policy is concerned. But then, yeah, I really think that so is Biden. Biden may not look effective because but no, I think everybody in America, including the entire Republican Party and the Democrat Party, they are all very, very wary of China. If you're talking about India, yes, Trump will definitely be better for India seen in isolation because the Democrats have a much closer relationship with all the Islamic lobbies and the black lobbies and the liberal lobby and the Pakistani lobby. More of their congressmen and congresswomen get the support and money from these. And then, I think the Shivakumar from Karnataka also went and attended some Kamala Harris rally or something like that. I don't know if it is true. So it is definitely on the surface for India, and especially for us who are Modi supporters, we definitely will prefer Trump to Biden. But I think in the larger in the larger picture, America will not become pro-China against India. They may not be that vocal, but if there's a Democratic presidency, uh, but under the Republican, Trump might be more friendly towards Modi as a person, all that. But I think the policies will be different. won't be much different. That is my view. Just people in India always think everybody seems, especially Modi, suppose says only Trump and Trump should come. I don't know what they don't realize. I really don't. I think I told you this before. They don't realize that Trump. I mean, I don't know how many Indians or even among our support, our friends, would like to see America become a dictatorial country. I don't think that is the problem with Trump. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much,
Can you see
Mr. Ram.
this?
Now I can see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I can see the red dot and the
Oh,
blue. Yeah, yeah. Okay, the red
okay,
are
no, so it's not very clear. See, if you see the red is Republican. You see, it's all along the center.
okay.
On the border state, on the sea, you see the long thing that is California. On top is Washington State. So that is what is the issue. So anyway, so it's not very clear. So anyway, so what were you saying? Go ahead.
Thank you very much. This is a very exhaustive
Any
discussion we
specific
had.
questions?
That was, answered by you how the both winning election will affect India economically, politically. And one small question I want to ask that why Democrats have been siding with Pakistan and all the religious fanatics. What is the core reason as per your assessment?
The core reason is, it is not today. It is historically, right from
Mhm.
Clinton and Kennedy and all those things. The Republicans are conservative. Number one, they are known as a conservative party, obviously. Democrats are supposed to be liberal. Their traditional base has been blacks, minorities, Mexicans and immigrants and all those things. So a good part of the support comes from Latinos, including Indians and all that. The good part of their support comes from these constituencies. Therefore, they will they tend to support people from those communities, because in turn, there are the representative and senators from these parties, congressmen from these parties. They have caucus, Pakistan caucus, and all that. So it is not new. It has always been there. I don't think it is because for instance, if they are supporting the some radical Islamic, it is not because they love the Islamists. That is just politics. They just because they give them more money than the other side. That is all. It's just politics. I don't think they love Islamists any more than you do or I do. I don't think so at all. Because, for instance, if you see now in Israel, everything that Israel is doing, Biden is making statements, giving out saying, we want peace, we want a ceasefire. Has he done anything? They still give arms. They still do everything. They do nothing to antagonize the Israelis. They're totally, but they will make noises because Islam, Muslim, congresswomen, and what is that name? That woman, that lady, that horrible lady. They
Elhan
all will say,
Omar.
I have to stop.
Elhan
Ilhan
Omar.
Omar. People, correct, Ilhan Omar. Those kind of people, they will keep pressuring the White House to say you should. So then they'll, just for public consumption, Biden will give these statements. But you see what is happening? They have not done anything. They have not said we will not give funds. The support is still there. Israel will not be able to do all this without so America is not pro-Islamic. I mean, why would there no reason to be. You asking me why they are? I don't think there is any. Just politics. One side gets support and money from this side, so they take it. And also, if you take Ukraine, the vice presidential candidate for Trump, Trump keeps on saying, if I'm elected, even before I'm sworn in as president, November 5th or November 6th, right after the election, they declare the results, the war will be over in Ukraine. It's an idiotic statement he keeps making. Uh, and his vice president said just 1 minute, and his vice president candidate for Vance, he said, yes, we have a plan. And finally, he said, the plan is this: we will let Russia keep whatever it has taken. Yeah, that if if Biden says that today, he'll Russia will be happy. Anyway, go ahead.
So, thank you very much for giving us a very varied and exhaustive perspective of what is happening in the debate in the American election, how it will affect maybe the Indian relations, whether the Trump wins or the Kamala Harris. So, thank you very much, Mr. Ram Ramkumar. We'll get back to you about the future development in US politics,
Yes, sir. Thank you
or
so much.
how how the Modi visit has affected Indian US election, or at least what is the reaction of Indian diaspora. So thank you very much, Mr. Ram Ramkumar. It has been a pleasure talking to you always. Thank you.
yeah, Mother Singh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know what is that behind it? This the picture you see that
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
picture you see on my behind me. That
Yeah,
is
yeah. Please.
Uttar Kashi. Uttar Kashi.
Okay,
It's
okay,
so
okay.
beautiful, isn't it? It's lovely. You maybe been there?
Absolutely, absolutely. Long back, not recently,
Yeah. Anyway,
but
okay.
long. Thank you very
Right.
much. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. Right. Thank you. Right, sir.
So we discussed the election scenario in USA with the help of our old friend and a scholar who's based in India. He's basically from JNU and Delhi, and he gave his perspective about what is happening, what is the electoral process, how the outcome might influence Indian US relations. So, thank you very much for watching, and we request you to please help our budding channel by subscribing and sharing the link with your friends and relatives. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Ram Ram Kumar. Thank you.